Hey, call me Shape. And today I'm reacting to a video titled 44 Mom of Two Hates Men for Her Own Poor Choices. Let's get right into it.
A man doesn't just wake up one morning and decide to become a deadbeat father. The signs are usually there. Let me give you an example. When I was 18 years old, I met this guy. Now, this was back in 1999, way before social media. So people didn't really have access to information about anyone. We just had to meet people and get to know them. And this guy told me that he couldn't have any children. The doctor told him he couldn't have any kids, so there was no need to use protection. A couple months later, I realized that he had lied to me because I was pregnant. Strike number one. When I confronted him about this lie, he said he couldn't recall ever saying that to me. Of course, because a liar has no memory. Nevertheless, he was excited. He was like, I'm going to be there for you and the baby. I'm going to take care of you. He made all these promises to me. Well, the joke was on me because during the entire pregnancy, the only thing he ever provided was a single baby bottle. It wasn't even sealed. It was one single baby bottle he came to my house with in his hand. Strike number two. Here's where it gets better. When I went into labor, I'm at the hospital. At this time, it's the year 2000. So we still don't have access to like mobile phones. So when I'm at the hospital, I had to leave the maternity unit and walk outside the hospital to a payphone to ring my baby daddy to tell him that I'm in labor. His mom answers the phone and she says to me, "Oh, he's at the bar." Now, this is the Caribbean, so they call it the rum shop. He's at the rum shop because the next day was his birthday, so he's celebrating. And he was completely wasted. And it just so happened that I gave birth to my daughter on his birthday, so they share the same birthday. And he was so drunk, he couldn't even come to my delivery. At this point, I have all the information that I need. Anything else after this is just confirmation. A blind man could see that my future is going to be a single mother. So what do? I made sure that my daughter carried my last name and her father's name was nowhere on the birth certificate because I was going to protect her future. I already realized I was going to be a single parent, so there was no way I was going to legally attach myself and my child to that individual.
That's wild. There's no way you're going to legally attach your child to that individual. Your child's attached to him. That's her father. Okay? This is the mistake a lot of women make. They think the child's just theirs. Okay? I understand the saying, mother's baby, father's maybe. Okay? But, according to you, it's his child. Now, here's a couple things she made a mistake. One, ladies, this is why we tell you marry before you carry. Because when you go through the process of marrying somebody, there's a lot higher requirement that you have for that, right? But when you're just sleeping with somebody, very low requirement. All he said was, I can't have children. So you said, okay, you can hit it raw. Like, you let him hit it raw because he said he couldn't have children. Can you imagine that? And you're blaming him for why you're a single mom. Anyway, she got more videos I thought it was interesting. Listen to what she has to say.
The hate you have for your baby daddy should never be greater than the love that you have for your children. So if you hate your baby daddy this much, you should love your children this much. The love you have for your children should always be greater than the hate you have for your baby daddy. And when you...
So imagine that. She's trying to make sure, okay, I hate my baby daddy, but I'm going to love my daughter more. You know what I'm saying? You go online telling your child and you're telling the world that you hate the father of your children and you think you're a good person? You're a good mother? You lay down with a man that you hate. You can't make this up. Okay, one more clip from her. I thought this is very interesting. And it kind of lets you peek into the mind of a woman, okay, who becomes a single mom. Listen to what she has to say. Hey, listen up, Shape Squad. Are you tired of being ignored by women? Well, download my free ebook, Be Attractive and Shut Up. It's going to teach you how to master attraction, build unshakable confidence, and win with women without words. Because chances are you're not ugly. You just talk too damn much. So download my free ebook, Be Attractive and Shut Up, and take control of your dating life right now. Now let's get right back to the content.
Most men are socialized to make women single mothers because most men are raised to have children, not to be fathers. We can thank patriarchy for that. And we know it's not all men.
Not the patriarchy. Thanking the patriarchy, men were raised to become deadbeat dads. They were raised to make women single mothers. That guy, all he did was lie to you. You did not have to believe his lie. But because of it, he was raised to be, raised to make you into a single mom. He was raised for that. He was raised to lie, and you were raised to believe a lie. I tell men all the time, women believe lies and they acquiesce it. They don't challenge it. They don't fight. Oh, you can't have kids? Okay. No proof. He never needed to prove himself. He just had to say, I can't have kids. And now you would think to yourself, okay, but you could still get disease. There's other risks involved in sleeping with someone raw. But you think you're so grown, so you just do it. And I've covered many women in their 40s who make similar mistakes like this when they're younger, and they always blame men. Now look at another woman who she's not in her 40s yet, but she's on her way to that. But look at how much she hates men already.
Propaganda that I'm not falling for is dating men. You cannot convince me that dating men is not self-harm. It's literally a humiliation ritual, y'all. Like, I don't know how else to put this, but we're not supposed to be dating men. Us women, we're not supposed to be out here dating these men. I feel like we're supposed to be independent. We're supposed to be stress-free, glowing, living our best lives. The minute you add a man to that, all of that goes out the window. Like, there's nothing why would you even want to date a man? Okay, these men are demons. They are literal fucking vampires sucking the energy out of you. Why would you want someone sucking the energy out of you? I'm not falling for it.
It's so funny. Women are so safe in America. They're so safe in the West. They're allowed to say stuff like this because other men will protect her right to be an idiot, to be a fool. She says dating men is self-harm. Tell me you're traumatized without telling me you're traumatized. And then she went on to say, we're supposed to be independent women. Independent of who? Independent of men? How? Go to Africa, try to be independent of men. Go to South America, try to be independent of men. Go to the Middle East, try to be independent of men. It won't happen. You live in an environment that you're safe from men because other men are willing to protect you, and you think, I could be independent of men. This is the brain rot, okay? Ladies, you have a hole between your legs for men. Or for a man, I should say. And I agree with you. Maybe you shouldn't be dating men. You should be married to a man. And that marriage probably should be arranged because if you left to your own devices, this is the outcome. This is the outcome. Anyway, we got Dana D. Shout out to Dana D. Okay. Dana's almost pushing 40. And she's still got a lot of slick shit to say. Let's listen to this clip.
Why are you not taken? Why are you not married? Whenever somebody say that to me, I get immediately pissed off because it makes it seem as if I don't have no say-so in the situation. It doesn't matter who wants me. It's about who I want. And I always say it. I've never met a man who I would be with for the rest of my life. I ain't never met a man that I wanted that much. I've met attractive men. I've met men who had great personalities. I've met a lot of good men throughout my years on this earth. But I ain't never met one that I wanted to actually be with for the rest of my life. For the rest of my life. Somebody who I was compatible with to that level. Somebody I was physically attracted to that level. A man that possessed all the things and characteristics that I wanted. No, I never met that man. I ain't never seen that man a day before in my life. My last two exes are the closest that I've ever gotten to this, right? One of them possessed the personality, the character traits. He was everything on paper that I want. He just wasn't physically what I wanted. And then the last ex was physically everything that I wanted. Personality, characteristics, it could be better. It wasn't better than the ex before him. But if you took both of them and put them together and had the looks of one and then the characteristics of the other, oh yeah, that would be my man. That would be my man. That would be exactly what I wanted. But since you can't do that, and I've never met a man who possessed the characteristics and the looks of the last two exes I had, no, I never seen it before. Why you not?
And you're not it either, Dana. I don't know if anyone told you, but you don't look like or act like the woman that any man wants to be with for the rest of his life. So you proved your own point. And you're proving a lot of men's point. That women want it all. You want the man that looks a certain way. You want him to behave a certain way. You're pushing 40 and you're going to sit back and say, I ain't going to be with no man for the rest of my life because he don't look the way I want and he don't act the way I want. I never met a man like that. I never met a man like that. And the reason why you haven't met a man like that, because you're not like that, Dana. You struggle with weight. I reacted to videos of her saying she struggled her weight be fluctuating. So you definitely don't got the looks part down. I know you think your face is pretty. I know you got that heavy head ass leaning to the side all the time. I know you got that. But guess what? You don't have the looks. You don't have the personality. You're not submissive. So in what world do you feel like you're going to get it all when a man doesn't get it all with you? So you're saying that it doesn't matter what men want you, it matters who you want. Yes, it does what matters what men want you, because the men that you're describing, we exist. We got the looks. We got the personality. But we don't want you because you're not equally yoked to us. A lot of women need to understand this. Y'all want this perfect man, but y'all ain't perfect. I went on a date with a girl last night. She's almost 200 pounds. She looked decent for her size and her shape or whatever. Pretty face, but she's almost 200 pounds. Now, I told her, we're probably better off as friends, okay? I couldn't tell she was 200 pounds from her profile. I told her we're better off as friends. And she was mad about that. And the reason why I said we're better off as friends, because not only she's 200 pounds, but she wants me to wait till marriage to sleep with her. Mind you, she's not a virgin. So here it goes. Women want a high-value man to worship her like a simp and put her on a pedestal and then wait till marriage to sleep with her, even though she's not a virgin. You have all these requirements for a man, and what do you bring? You're overweight, out of shape, and you're old, you're up in age. Imagine that. That's what we got to deal with, okay? I have another older woman complaining about men and we don't want to be married anymore. Yeah, it's easy to say you're in your 50s, in your 60s. Nobody wants to marry you. You could try to put on all the makeup you want, but you're old as dirt. Let's listen to what she has to say.
Women don't give a fuck about being married anymore. They have no interest in having a husband. They have dealt with enough men in their lifetime to say, I'm good. I don't want anything to do with this. I don't want no part of this. Y'all can have it. I choose peace. Women have got to a point in this world that they would rather not ever be married or not ever be near a fucking man again, because they know that trauma, drama, bullshit, lies, excuses, and empty promises are attached to a man. They would rather live their lives in peace with their dogs and their cats and absolutely never have to deal with the bullshit a man brings to them. All the lies, all the bullshit, all the pain, all the sorrow, all the suffering. They don't want to deal with it anymore. They would rather be alone. They want to come home. They want to kick their shoes off from a day of work or wherever the fuck they've been. And they want to kick their shoes off. They want to go in the kitchen. They want to pour themselves a glass of wine, have a cocktail, have a sparkling water. They want to go to their couch. They want to kick their feet up. They want to watch their favorite show. Or they want to sit there and read a motherfucking book in peace and sit with their cat and their dog and not have to hear anything that a man has to offer or has to say to her. Women don't give a fuck about being married anymore. I love you. Hope this helps some of you. Women don't get...
You see how terrible she sounds? Look how terrible. She sounds old. She looks old. Hold on. I'm gonna mute this. I want you to see how old she really is. Look at this. Look at this. Look how old she looks. Bro, look at this woman. She's talking. She got the nerve to talk. This girl got the nerve to talk. Talking about she don't hear what a man has to say, and I don't want to be married. Does anyone want... Look at that. And she even has a chest tattoo. What is this, a snow cone? What's she, Gucci Mane? She got the Gucci Mane tattoo on her chest, bro. And she talking about, I don't want to be married. Nobody wants to marry you. How about that? No one wants to marry this. How about that? And if you really don't want to be married, why you got makeup on? Why you get your hair done? Why you putting lipstick on? You're still trying to look seductive to men. You don't want to be married, so you want to get smashed? You want to get passed around? And I agree with her. She dealt with enough men to realize she don't want to deal with men anymore. And here's the problem, ladies. That's the issue right there. Dealing with multiple men. You see, here's what happens. Multiple men equals trauma for women. This is why I believe we need to go back into the old times where two things happened. Women were virgins until marriage, and their marriage and wedding was arranged by their family, because you guys choose poorly when it comes to men, and you sleep with a bunch of men and then get traumatized. Multiple men will equal trauma for women. And let me ask you this question, ladies. Do you want to grow old and look like her? And you got no man? and you're upset at the world and you're miserable, so much to the point where you want to avoid men because you've been traumatized. All the semen that's been inside your brain and on your face, you're traumatized. All the semen that has been on top of your back, you're traumatized. Think about that. This girl has flashbacks to men going skeet, skeet, skeet when they hit it from the back. And then going deuces. She got traumatized for it. And how could that not traumatize you? If you're being treated like a piece of meat, how could that not traumatize you? If you're being lied to, how could that not traumatize you? I agree with her, it's traumatizing, but you know what she don't realize? The solution is to avoid this altogether. Women don't understand that. They think, oh, the problem is men. Men need to change. She wants to be able to sleep with a bunch of men and not get traumatized. It don't work like that. And you probably want to be able to eat cupcakes and get a six-pack. It don't work like that. Ladies, y'all have a sick fantasy that whatever you dream of, you are entitled to no matter what you do. It don't work like that. The great men that exist, you have to earn them. You have to compete for them. You want to sit around, eat cupcakes, donuts, never hit a treadmill, never have a gym membership, and look beautiful and amazing, even though you're an alcoholic, you drink wine and cocktails every night after work. And you're expecting to have a dream body and a dream life with a dream man that chases after you and courts you. It won't happen. And I can show you the delusion from 18 years old all the way to 68. These women are the same. And they always say women mostly mature faster than men. No, they don't. Sister Saraza Ali said it the best. Women don't age past the maturity of a 15-year-old. So she has the emotional maturity of a 15-year-old in a 60-year-old woman's body. Imagine that. Anyway, I found a simp. Dudes who struggle with women, so they got a cape for women. He got the cape on his back. He's a white knight. Let's listen to what he has to say.
You know, I'm sick of y'all asking me, why do men cheat? As if it's deep or something. No, it's simple. It's out of lack, ego, access, weakness, disguised as freedom. No, you ain't got to be ugly, broke, boring to be cheated on. All you got to do is attach yourself to a man that lacks discipline. You really want me to go there? Let's go there. Whenever we look at men, most men that cheat, they typically don't cheat on their girlfriend or their wife with somebody that's prettier, that's deeper, that's smarter, that's more self-sufficient. No. When we look at them, we like, yo, you cheated with her? No, it's not about the depth of the person. It's not about how fine she is. It's about how easy she is, and not the way you think the word easy is defined. No, with the girl that he cheated on you with, there was no pressure there. There's no accountability. There's no responsibility. And she's convenient. You thinking that it's about the sex. No, it's not about the sex. No, he's yearning for significance. Because when he's not affirmed at home, when he's not affirmed in the relationship, he'll go get his affirmations, or he'll go to somebody that will affirm him, telling him how good he looks, makes him feel wanted. Yeah, he'll cheat on you, even if it means hearing how cute he is in the DMs. No, and he's really not even cheated on you, but he's actually cheating on the emptiness within inside of himself. Yeah, so he's using the other girl as a tool to distract him from how empty he feels about himself. Now, most men don't cheat for bodies, or back in the day, body count, or get something underneath their belt. Nah. Most men cheat because they no longer feel like somebody. It's just not there. So they'll go out and get...
Okay, I'm done with this brace face, old simp ass, I'm trying to be Luther Vandross head ass type nigga, bro. Get this bald ass nigga off my screen, man. Listen, all the things he's saying, he's just trying to appeal to women. Of course, if you look at and we're not even going to read the comments. If you look at the comments, they're all women. They're all women. No men agree with him. Listen, If you're not respected by men, you're not a man. I'm going to just keep it real with you. I don't know why men come out here. They try to get the respect from women, to try to get a little bit of punani, leftover, washed up punani, because that's the best he could do. That's the best he could do. So think of it like this, right? He says men cheat because they have of lack, of ego, of weakness. It's not because of, and it's disguised as freedom. My friend, it is freedom. The reason why men cheat, because first of all, why are we held to this idea that we should only be a one woman the rest of our lives? When God knows, he gave us the organs, the sexual organs that produce sperm every day, 300 million sperm. Why do we need 300 million sperm when women don't have, one woman don't even have 300 million eggs? One woman doesn't. We can't even count the amount of women a man and his sperm can impregnate in a single year. But we know how many kids a woman can have in a single year. One. So this idea that men are supposed to be naturally monogamous, but we're weak and we have ego and we lack and we feel empty inside. I feel full inside. Full. My nuts feel full. And the reality of it is that they say men cheat because this men cheat. Listen, men don't cheat. We have concubines, okay? King Solomon didn't cheat. He had concubines and he had multiple wives. There ain't no cheating when you a man, okay? And his wives, they're loyal to him. They're all monogamous to him, and he was polygamous. It's just the way it is. I know we're upset with the way the world is, but in ancient times, they figured this out. Now we're trying all these social experiments where we try to uproot who we are biologically, and it's not going to work. It's not working. The women aren't happier. The men aren't happier. We're not having more kids. We're not having more families. None of it's working. None of it's working. So the reality of it is, if most women want to be with the top 10% of men, the truth of that matter is they have to share them. They have to become concubines. That's just the only way the math works. The math doesn't work that every girl gets a high value man. It doesn't work that way. So why does every girl want one? And we're pushing this lie that you're going to get one. Mind you, a lot of them are too stupid to realize that if a man tells you, oh, I can't have kids, you should let me hit it raw, you shouldn't let him hit it raw. That you should keep your legs close to your marriage. They're too stupid to know that marry before you carry is literally a principle. But again, left to their own devices, women are going to make a bad decision, and here comes this dude with a cape on his back trying to be Captain Save-A-Ho and free her from her bad choices. It ain't gonna happen, okay? Anyway, let's get to the headliner of the day. Shout out to the headliner of the day, beautiful black woman. Her name is Sienese Monet. You know, a lot of these girls put the Monet at the end of their name. I want to play a little bit of what she has to say. Take a look.
So I wanted to do this video really quick. I wanted to talk about a couple things, but the first one is these lock sprinkles that I put in my hair. I'm not all the way good at it yet. I have to practice, but I got them from a really dope girl off of here. Her name is Naomi. I hope I'm saying it right, girl. Her name is Naomi, and she has a business called Sprinkle My Locks, and I just love it. I just love how it adds to my hair. I need to do this one down. I ran out of thread because I was messing up, so I got more to do, but I just wanted to
By the way, I love her locks. I know they're a little thicker. I know they're a little Kodak Blackish looking locks, but I still think they look gorgeous. Baby, sister locks, these thick Kodak Black locks, the regular locks, they all look good to me. And these sprinkles on the locks, on top of that, fire. Okay, so that's why she's a headliner. Shout out to Sienese and shout out to Sprinkle My Locks. Go check them out. I'm going to put the link to Sienese Monet in the bio. I also want you to see this. She's a fitness girl. Shout out to all the gym girls. Listen to this.
Everybody want the body, but nobody want to put in the work. Everybody want the waist, but nobody want to drink no damn shakes. Everybody want the ass, but nobody want to lift no heavy ass weights. Put down the cookies. Pick up the water. Everybody
you feel me? Put down the cookies, pick up the water, and you're going to have a fine body like this. Not only does she have natural hair, she got a natural body. F the BBL allegation, she earned that in the gym. She earned that in the gym, okay? Look at this. So shout out to the headliner, Sienese Monet. If you think she's fine, let me know in the comments. Let me know. Give some Sienese some love, bro. We need to give these natural hair girls with bodies who love the gym some love. Anyway, like the video, subscribe to the channel. Channel blowing up. I appreciate you guys. Check out some other videos, and I'll see y'all over there.